I do take it as a sign of disrespect to Caitlin Clark.
I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me, and opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with. That's what Caitlin Clark said.
WNBA is officially in meltdown mode after Caitlin Clark announced her departure from America. Constant injuries, brutal bullying, and zero protection from league officials pushed her out.
She's just not built for the physicality of this league. And she's not quick enough to get away from the physicality.
The jealous veterans couldn't handle her success, and now their only star is gone. Let me tell you, this league can't stand without her.
She's the golden goose.
We're talking pure chaos, panic, meltdown mode, all thanks to Caitlin Clark dropping the biggest mic in the league's pathetic history and announcing she's leaving America. Yeah, the only reason half of these empty arenas had people sitting in them is walking out the door, and suddenly, it's like they realize their little empire is built on paper straws and fake hype.
Yes, you have somebody in Caitlin Clark who became the face of the league the first year that she was in the WNBA. She put up crazy numbers last season, and even in this season, where she has struggled more games than she has balled out.
You would think after how much this league milked her success, they'd at least try to protect their biggest star. But nope, not the WNBA. Caitlin Clark came in, completely flipped their dying league upside down, and what did they do? Let her get hammered every single night like it's WWE while the referees just stood there clapping. The girl flat out said it herself. "I'm getting hammered out there, opponents get away with it." And the officials? Oh, they're just chilling, probably scrolling Twitter while Clark's out there getting body slammed.
But it does just show the disrespect within the league, and no matter what Caitlin does, it seems to be something where she's either gonna have to tirelessly earn the respect of her colleagues or she's never gonna get it.
But hey, who cares, right? It's only their one and only meal ticket. It's not like they desperately need her to sell tickets, jerseys, or keep the lights on. Fans didn't come for the bitter veterans who can't sell out high school gyms, they came for Caitlin Clark. Now she's leaving, and the panic button is getting smashed so hard it probably broke in half.
They're clearly afraid to protect Caitlin Clark from the bully tactics and the excessive physicality inflicted on her. Heck,
here's the real joke. The WNBA's been strutting around like they're the next NBA, bragging about some unprecedented expansion to 18 teams. 18 teams? You can't even fill the arenas you have now.
But if you're not delivering the product and you're not making the revenue and you're not, giving people the entertainment that they want, then you're not gonna make any money and your league is going to suck.
Most of these arenas barely scrape together 70 to 80% capacity, and that's with free ticket giveaways, discount nights, and probably bribing people to show up. But sure, let's add 5 more teams to a league that bleeds money faster than Ryan Reynolds bleeds bad jokes in every movie he's ever done. At least Reynolds knows how to act like a business, unlike the WNBA, which hasn't made a single dime in almost 30 years.
Voiced frustration with the league's officiating, recently telling reporters, quote, "I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me, and opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with." That's what Caitlin Clark said.
Yeah, you heard that right. 3 decades, not one profitable season. They're basically the charity case of professional sports, propped up like some political pet project where taxpayers and sponsors keep the ship afloat while everyone pretends it's sailing just fine. But now that Caitlin Clark's gone, they can kiss the fake business act goodbye. Without her, those jersey sales flatline, ticket revenue dries up, national attention, forget it. They collapse harder than their defenders do when someone actually scores a layup.
It is the fault of the WNBA.
But here's the part that really makes this whole disaster laughable. Caitlin Clark wasn't just a good player. She was the one-woman economic miracle these clowns betrayed. You ever seen the WNBA break records? No? That's because it never happened until Clark stepped on the court. Fever games averaged over 17,000 fans per game. That's not just good for them, that's record-breaking for the entire league. And get this, one of their home games with Clark drew 2,711 fans alone, the highest attendance for a WNBA game, period.
The Indiana Fever, all right, with Caitlin Clark, led the league in attendance both home and on the road. Fever averaged 17,000.
Meanwhile, without Clark, some of these teams can't even pull more than a local Starbucks on a weekday morning. But sure, let's keep acting like this league is booming. Her presence alone added over 500,000 fans in her rookie year. 500,000 people suddenly cared about a league most didn't even know still existed. And how did the players repay her? With jealousy, dirty hits, trash talk, and fake respect behind her back. Insecure veterans who couldn't handle the fact that a rookie, a literal newcomer, managed to succeed where they've been failing for decades.
Caitlin Clark gets, even though she doesn't do much on social media, doesn't say much when she's interviewed, just says all the right things, nothing but cliches and platitudes, nothing but respect for all of the older stars in the league.
And you know how bad the situation is when even their dusty, decade-old merchandise starts flying off the shelves because Caitlin Clark showed up. Her jersey outsold everyone's, veterans included, within weeks. Suddenly, WNBA merch that's been collecting dust since the early 2000s? Gone. Sold out. Fans scrambling to get a piece of Clark because, let's be honest, she was the only reason to care.
This league office is obviously deathly afraid of an open player revolt.
Networks were scrambling too. Everyone fighting to air her games, sponsors lining up like it's Black Friday. Nike dropped $28 million on her. Wilson, Gatorade, they all wanted in on the Caitlin Clark show. Because they're not idiots. They saw what the WNBA couldn't. One player was keeping the entire league alive. But even with all that, Clark faced nothing but hate from the bitter, insecure players who couldn't stand that she outshined them. Physical abuse, constant targeting, zero protection from officials, and a league leadership so clueless, they basically handed her walking papers.
Because it's Caitlin Clark and she can't do that game.
So she did what anyone with common sense would do, she's leaving. And now, the WNBA is stuck watching its so-called business collapse, all because they couldn't handle one rookie showing them how it's done. The WNBA didn't just turn a blind eye, they practically handed out the brass knuckles. Their players organized a physical and verbal smear campaign like the jealous mean girls they are, all aimed at dismantling the one rookie who saved their careers from total obscurity.
Chicago Sky here from Wintrust Arena. The Fever have really stretched out this one.
If you thought that wasn't bad enough, let's talk about the All-Star rankings. Caitlin Clark was voted number 1 by fans with over 1.29 million votes, the most ever. But guess what? The jealous veterans buried her to 9th place in player votes. 9th. In a league where she's the only reason tickets sell, jerseys fly off shelves, and games actually get broadcast, they shoved her down the rankings like bitter toddlers.
You need to blitz her off of any screen. Why would you need to be physical with her if she wasn't that great of a player? Or you're just wasting your energy and you just simply don't like her. It's either one of the other.
Even the media, who isn't exactly known for loving Clark, ranked her 3rd best guard. But the players? Oh no, their bruised egos couldn't handle it. So they tanked her ranking like it's some high school popularity contest instead of professional basketball. Meanwhile, Paige Bueckers mysteriously ranked higher than Clark, despite Clark pulling better numbers and more attention. The player votes exposed the whole scam. The All-Star rankings aren't about skill, they're about clicks, favoritism, and pretending to support each other while stabbing their star players in the back.
Weighted score, then Caitlin Clark. The fans ranked her at 2, the media ranked her at the 5th best guard, and the players ranked her as the 4th best guard.
Aaliyah Boston, Clark's own Fever teammate, didn't escape the jealous hit job either. Boston dominated statistically, yet the players ranked her 9th among front court players too. So much for teamwork. Sophie Cunningham called it out perfectly. Nobody likes the Fever. The entire league operates on Mean Girls energy, sabotaging anyone who threatens their weak, dying hierarchy.
But there is no person in the world who can convince me that there are 8 better guards than Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. And I also think it's so interesting.
And then there's the biggest joke, the myth that the WNBA is growing. According to their PR team, the league's booming, adding new teams, thriving like never before. But let's talk real numbers. Playoff games like Atlanta Dream versus New York Liberty barely drew 410,000 viewers combined. You could find more people watching paint dry on YouTube.
And it's not truly about skill at all. Am I surprised? No. Am I disappointed? Yes.
They hyped up the so-called Big 3 stars, promised sellouts, insane viewership, but couldn't even pull half the numbers Clark did on her worst day. Without Clark, the league limps back into irrelevance faster than they can inflate attendance numbers. Empty arenas, collapsing ticket prices, sponsors ghosting like bad Tinder dates, the WNBA without Clark is a disaster waiting to happen. Their leadership, led by the always missing Kathy Engelbert, couldn't even protect their only valuable player from the assaults, both physical and verbal. They betrayed the one person keeping them relevant.
This doesn't make sense. You either don't like her or she's that good. So pick one. But if you really think that she's that good, then I feel like she should have been voted by the players differently. And I'm honestly not going to harp on this too long because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
The 18-team expansion they're parading around, built entirely on Clark's momentum. Without her, they can't even sell Ethiopian breadcrumbs at the concession stand. But sure, let's pretend this league is thriving while their only star walks away laughing. Caitlin Clark finally did what any sane person would do. She packed her bags, grabbed her dignity, and left the clown show behind. She officially announced she's done with the WNBA circus and heading to Europe. And honestly, can you blame her? After the year she had, the only surprise is that she didn't leave sooner.
Clark, hammer.
She made it crystal clear why she's out. Mental exhaustion, constant attacks, zero league protection. Basically, the WNBA handed her a welcome gift of chaos, jealousy, and body slams, and then acted shocked when she didn't stick around for round 2. It's almost like they forgot their only reason for relevance has options, and unlike them, those options actually know how to run a professional league.
Refs are resentful of all the attention that Caitlin Clark gets. I don't know, that's the way it looked on Saturday.
Clark's headed to Europe, where talent's respected, sponsors pay, and players don't have to strap on body armor before a game just to survive jealous vets. Over there, they reward performance, not petty locker room politics and insecure veterans who think success is a personal attack. And the timing couldn't have been more brutal for the WNBA. Caitlin Clark was pulling over 1.8 million viewers to regular season games. That's not just impressive, it's historic for a league that usually struggles to pull more viewers than a middle school talent show. With her gone, those numbers collapse faster than Angel Reese's attendance stats.
Talk about biting the hand that feeds you, or letting defenders bite that hand.
The local economy around Fever games was booming because of Clark. Restaurants, merch stands, even parking lots were making bank every time she stepped on the court. Now, that boost is gone. The Gainbridge Fieldhouse, which used to be electric every time Clark hit the floor, is officially a ghost town. Those sellouts? Over. The hype? Dead. The league? Sinking.
I mean, is that displacement? I think it is.
Oh, and Marina Mabry's going to get ejected.
And Caitlin Clark are talking to the official. They're both going at it saying, hey, oh, there's a little extra right.
But Clark wasn't the only proof that the WNBA doesn't care about its own players. Enter Julie Van Loo. She did everything right. Won Eurobasket with Belgium, rushed back to the WNBA like the loyal pro she is, only to find out she was waived mid-flight. That's right, while she was literally on the plane flying back, the team cut her loose like she's some extra luggage they didn't want to pay for.
Caitlin Clark is white. She brings in tons of new white fans. Who cares what color they are, as long as they're watching and buying tickets.
Van Loo found out she was unemployed via social media before she even touched down. No heads up, no respect, no dignity. The league discards players like garbage, but they expect loyalty? Please. If they treat Eurobasket champions like that, what chance did Caitlin Clark ever have? It's the same league where you get more respect as a jealous bench warmer throwing elbows than as a star bringing in sponsors. Clark's exit isn't just another player moving on, it's the first domino falling. Europe's rising. Real basketball markets are lining up to offer Clark what the WNBA never could. Actual respect, real money, and protection from insecure veterans with bruised egos. Meanwhile, the WNBA is over there drowning in its own pettiness and incompetence, wondering why the ship's sinking. The WNBA just destroyed itself, y'all, and trust me, this downfall is only getting started. Don't forget to subscribe for more brutal truth they don't want you hearing.